Alright, welcome back to another Embrace Destiny video, everyone. Thank you so much for clicking the link and joining us. Today is a very special episode. Today is an episode that celebrates reaching 65 subscribers. So for today's video, I'm going to split it into 3 parts. And you may leave whenever you feel like it. The first part is I'm going to thank you all very profusely for your engagement and for sticking around. The second part, I'm going to talk a little bit about my process, how I got from, humble beginnings to where I am now. Not much of a journey, but we'll talk about it. And go into a little bit of details as to how I capture my stream and such, in case you're interested in forming your own channel. And lastly, I will talk about the goals of this channel and where I want to go from here. So I'm going to put timestamps down below. Feel free to jump in, jump out, and let's get started. So first, again, I want to thank each and every one of you that have decided to check out this video, to like, comment, subscribe, honestly, all that good YouTube stuff. Obviously, I'm really happy that people have chosen to subscribe. It means that they're interested enough that they want to catch this content when it's coming out. But I'm also just happy for anybody who bothers to stop by and hear my voice and continue to hear my voice and stick around for a few minutes of their day. It's the attention economy we live in. We don't all have a lot of time, and I really appreciate all of the time and attention that you've bothered to give me. So thank you. Thank you very much, and I hope that I continue to deliver content that you enjoy and keep things entertaining and interesting, and to, always continue to grow together. Okay, so secondly, let's talk about how we got from having no channel to where we are now. Again, in the world of YouTube, 65 subscribers may not be a lot, but for me, it's a fairly sizable number. I mean, it's more, it's larger than my clan. It's more than any of the active members of my family who ever watch my content. So, yeah, it's great. So let's talk a little bit about where I started and how I got here, in case you're interested in forming your own channels. So I've mentioned once or twice here that the main reason I started a channel is because I wanted to teach myself audio video editing. These were skills that I had actively avoided. I did not want to do them because they seemed way too complicated, very focused on the artistic, and I just didn't see myself as capable or even really that interested in doing it. But I realized that there was a lot of stuff I wanted to do. I saw a lot of fun content online, and I wanted to contribute to it. And so I thought, okay, let's teach myself audio video editing. In order to do that, I need a subject. I need something I actually want to film or talk about. The idea of filming myself, I'm not really one to be, embarrassed by that or have that kind of anxiety, but just getting all the lighting and the sound and everything just seemed like a lot of work. So I realized at the time I was playing a lot of Destiny, and I thought, I like watching Destiny videos. Let's make some content. If I can combine my hobbies in this way, it would be quite effective. And this is a kind of a trick for you. If you find that there's one thing that you really like and there's something that you kind of want to like a little more, if you're able to combine those two effectively, and if they work for you, that can be a good way of growing and taking on multiple hobbies at the same time. Doesn't always work, obviously. Some things are just incompatible, and one thing may rob the pleasure of the other, but it's worth a try. So it's been working out for me. So at the time when I got started, you could not. A little bit of information about my setup. I'm playing on an Xbox One X. It's in my living room. I don't have a computer hooked up to it, and because of that, I'm a little bit limited in terms of streaming and capture potential. A lot of the streamers and content creators you see, they play either on the PC or they have a computer hooked up to their console so that they can have a capture card and they can do all sorts of fancy things live as they're streaming. However, I play on just on my console. There's no computer hooked up to it. So at the time, I was really limited in terms of capture options. There was no way to capture footage from the console itself for more than a few minutes at a time. So what I did was I made a Twitch account so that I could stream a lot of content, then download that content, edit it, and put it back up on YouTube. Obviously, it was a bit of a cumbersome method, and it relied on my network connection, which meant that sometimes it lagged, sometimes it stuttered. The video quality wasn't always the best. But it's all I had for the longest time. Then, now, thankfully, you can actually capture at least an hour at a time on an external hard drive. So that's what I've done. For this gameplay footage, I just hooked my external hard drive into my console, recorded the video, and then later record the audio, like the narration, put them together. The downside of this, of course, is that this method does not allow me to capture live microphone, like chat. There are some ways around it, such as streaming the entire thing to on your local area network to a Windows 10 computer, and then capturing all of that. But when I did that, I found it was inconsistent and a little bit challenging, a little bit annoying as well, and it doesn't quite have as much. I don't really have as much of a need for that kind of thing. Another option, again, would be hooking up a laptop, getting a capture card. Don't really want to do that. The third option, which I've done a few times for such as my Crucible videos, involves simultaneously recording on my console with an external hard drive and on my computer with a microphone. Again, not the most favorable thing in the world, but it does work. Again, I'm not, you can tell my YouTube videos are pretty simple in terms of production. I'm slowly increasing production value and effects and things like that. But for me, the focus is slowly teaching myself audio video editing. And for the channel, we'll talk a little bit about my goals, but I'm really focused on thoughtful communication, having something interesting to say and sharing it. I don't need to have a lot of bangs and whistles and everything behind it. It may make for, compared to the rest of YouTube, it may make for some quote-unquote boring or quiet YouTube videos in terms of spectacle, but I hope that I make up for it by being thoughtful and interesting. So there you have it. That's my whole system. So I stream on Twitch. You can find the link below, and I just use the Xbox chat headset from my microphone. And when I'm making videos, I record with an external hard drive and then put the footage and audio together with a program called Lightworks. I had been using Windows Live Movie Maker, which was pretty limited. We're talking like Windows 95 potential. But now I've upgraded to Lightworks, which is free. It's been fairly easy to use, and I'm liking it. It's allowing me to do things that I wasn't really able to do before, so that's the whole point. And maybe eventually I'll switch over to something that a lot of others use. I'm not even sure what software they use, but for now it's been fine. Self-taught, slowly improving. For the last couple of minutes of the video, I want to talk about the goals of this channel and the direction of this channel. I've had a lot of people give me, advice, and I've considered other people's channels. Where exactly does mine fit in the community? There are a lot of great lore channels. There's channels just going through all the weapons, and there's channels that give daily news updates on Destiny. The trouble is trying to fit this schedule and trying to fit this project into my life. I'm a 31-year-old. I have a job. I have other responsibilities. So limiting myself down to one video a week is manageable. It's more manageable than, a video a day or anything like that. Also, I don't always have the ability to produce a video of something that is live, like when Bungie does a stream or whatever. I live in France, and due to the time zones, sometimes their footage doesn't come out until 3 o'clock in the morning my time, so I'm not really able to do that. And I don't want to rush at it anyway. So, where does that leave us? Well, that leaves us with the things that I enjoy about the game. I enjoy talking about it. I enjoy sharing it. I enjoy sharing advice and commentary. So that's what I've mainly been focusing on. A couple of videos here I've been making are about my journey in the competitive Crucible, trying to improve my skill and going from what I consider an average player to maybe getting a little bit better. Talking about the lore and some interesting things, some gameplay design, and showing some cool clips. So, and keeping things fun and funny and interesting. That's pretty much the goal. You'll notice that the banner, I upgraded the channel art recently, and they focus on, being the light and sheltering the light. there's a lot of negativity out there in the community. There's, whether it's the problems that Bungie and Destiny have had since, Destiny 2's launch, or focusing on the, things that are broken in the game. And I get that. I understand and I agree with a lot of the criticism regarding things in this game, but spreading that kind of negativity doesn't really do a lot of good. So I try to focus on constructive criticism, or focusing on what is positive, and also spreading the message of a tolerant, positive community, which there's a lot of people out there who they don't realize it, but they kind of do the opposite through their behavior. So anyway, that's it for me. I'm going to try and wrap this up in a more concise manner than is usual. I want to thank you all very much again for making it to the end of the video and for subscribing. If you want this kind of content, feel free to subscribe. It's probably the best way because I put out videos about once a week, but it's pretty irregular. I'm trying to improve that to make a more consistent schedule. If you have any constructive criticism, do feel free to leave it below. I'm always happy to look into it and consider it. And yeah, hopefully you're enjoying this channel. You're enjoying Destiny or whatever games you're playing. And yeah, let's look forward to more videos together, and I'll see you all out there. Thank you very much again. Bye now.